Welcome, everybody, to Red and Gold Generations podcast / YouTube channel. I'm Dustin. I'm one of your hosts. This is my dad, Lawrence. What a great game it was last night. And to start us off, we got to light the candle. Because once again, folks, it sure smells like a Chiefs win to me.
Yes, it does. The word comes to mind, dominant.
Man, that smells good. I'll tell you.
Sweet smell of a win.
Sweet smell of victory. We will start things off with the offense because we called it. We both did. Offense was going to get better, and man, did it look good. I mean, struggled a couple of times in the red zone, and that quirky little pick off to Juju that was, unlucky. Other than that, we dominated that Saints team.
We did, honestly, from the get-go. The Chiefs had over 450 total yards last night. Patrick looked like Patrick Mahomes last night. And I agree with the commentator that I heard a while ago. Andy Reid can field a team with whoever goes out there and plays. I mean, you've got guys coming in here like Kareem Hunt, who wasn't even playing professional football for the first part of the season. I guess Juju had been cut too. And look who two of our biggest contributors to that game were last night on the offensive side.
Yep. Telling you, 27 carries. Did you happen to see his yardage?
I did. I wrote it down. It was just over 100 yards, 102 yards. So that's the Kareem of old, And Juju Smith, he just looked like that he was at home last night in this offense. Good to see him coming across the middle like that. That 50-yarder, did you see who fell down and wasn't able to track him across the field?
No, who was it?
Our old buddy Matthew.
Was it Tyrann Mathieu?
Tyrann, yeah, Tyrann. Slipped and fell.
I like that guy a lot. I missed him on our team. I mean, sorry, you can't win if you're not a Chief.
That's true.
But no, I did not see that was old Tyrann falling down there.
It was. That one was 50 for Juju. He had 130 yards last night total.
Yeah. And that catch that you're talking about was that was the next catch after he had dropped the touchdown and, got it picked off. And then I was yelling, that's the way to make up for it, Juju. That's the way to make up for it. I mean, I was pumped up when he had that long run. I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Well, and Travis Kelce, you knew he was there all along. Travis looked like Travis last night. Great job getting open. That although Patrick said that it wasn't designed that way, that he feels like sometimes he's talking to his boy Sterling.
I saw.
He underarmed it across the entire field, but what a play. I mean, I got up out of my chair and started yelling and walking around the living room going, I can't believe that he can do that stuff.
And he just, you knew he was going to do it. And what's funny is, so I was at Scott's house last night. That's my next door neighbor who's a Saints fan. I watched the game over there. We'll talk about that in a minute because that was funny to watch. But he even was like, oh, he's gonna throw it. Like, he knew when Travis caught that ball that he was gonna toss it to the outside. Like, he even called it. And sure enough, he tosses it. And what was that? That was 3rd and 24. And we almost picked up the first down on that play.
Well, it was 2nd and 34 because I got a kick out of one of the commentators whenever they said it's 2nd and Overland Park. Now, unless you're familiar with Kansas City area, right, that one might have went on by you. But Overland Park's clear over there in Kansas. So that made me laugh. And then, picking up the majority of those yards after, wasn't it that set of downs that Steele got tossed the ball and then he got blown up in the backfield and just mishandled the ball again. And Worthy happened to be there. We're lucky we got that ball back too.
Well, and trying to get cute. You're playing a clean game, and Andy Reid, we love him. He's our coach. We love him, but let's not get cute, right? Not yet. Like, let these, especially with Steele, because Steele did exactly what I've got to get rid of the ball, to another rookie. And instead of just going, oh, this play is blown up, let me just grab this ball and either go down or run it. He still tries to hand the ball off. But, Steele did a much better job. If you watched him hitting those holes, he was, two-hand. Nobody's taking this ball from me. So it did make me nervous when he got the ball, but I think he looked good. Besides that play, which, it was a little cute play, I'll give it to him. But he did pretty good. I liked it.
I did too. I felt very good about the entire performance last night. It just seems like that here again we're going down. What did Harrison kick last night? 4 out of 5. He missed a 51-yarder. So can you imagine if this team gets just a little bit better down there in the red zone? Now, granted, the one I got a kick out of that, not necessarily at the time, but I had to laugh about Saunders intercepting that ball and not setting down. That big boy come out of there. He used to be a Chief, right? Yeah, he was.
I didn't know that. Now, they did say he used to be a running back in high school, which I thought was funny. I was like, so that's where he got the hands and he was trucking.
I saw a clip of this guy doing a backflip and then a backflip where he was standing there and did a backflip. That's a guy his size. I can't believe the athleticism of this guy. Just amazing. But, anyway, once again, we're seeing field goals and not touchdowns when we should be seeing 6 points. Even the domination of last night, it still would have been nice to have had that score up there around 35, 40 points.
Yeah.
That's what we should have done. Just a complete game by the Chiefs, honestly.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter that much if you don't get in there.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the defense. You talk about dominance from one side. The defense last night, I put this down somewhere. They had, I don't know how many 3-and-outs last night. First two times, well, no. The first time, Cook intercepted it. The second time, they went 3-and-out. And the third time, they went 3-and-out. And the second time, they kept it for like a couple minutes. The third time, for like a minute and a half. They were on the field and off the field. So it's amazing what that team can do the farther we get into the season with that defense.
13 points. It held them to 13 points, and 7 of those was a bomb to Shaheed, I think. I'm sure somebody in the Saints world is going to get on to me for saying the name wrong. Yeah, so it's Olave, just so everybody knows, not Olave.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad. Olave, no disrespect. I was actually, if people watched the full video, I was giving Olave credit of how well he was playing all season. But anyway, Shaheed, I think, ripped the top off of our defense. And I think they saw something on film because you saw Derek Carr going, I told you. I saw that. They caught him going to the outside probably every time, and they were like, do a double move, and he threw that ball before that second move was made. They saw that on film, and Spags was probably like, you can't do that. You gotta stay honest. But and that was it. That was the only that was the only touchdown, right? The other two.
He had 2 scoring touchdowns. He threw the I think that was a tight end at that second
tight end, that's right.
Touchdown pass.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and you take that play and the 43-yarder to the wide receiver. I think Carr had 180, 185 yards last night throwing the ball. Olave wound up with, what was it, 12 yards? 2 catches and 12 yards.
And what did we say? What did we say? What did I say? What did we say? Man-to-man coverage. I want to see man-to-man coverage on Olave. It was man-to-man coverage on that boy all night with a little help. But McDuffie wasn't primary on him, which I thought was
No, he
actually
wasn't.
honest. Connor was on him. Yeah, I mean, they just kept picking him up. But, I mean, it was a lot of man coverage. So, Spags, once again. And what about that fourth down play? I was sitting there at Scott's house again, and I said, Spags is bringing everybody. And the quote of the night from Scott after that all-out blitz, he goes, man, he had people coming from the sidelines on that blitz.
Were there 8 blitzing? I think there was 8 blitzing.
Yeah, they sent everybody except for the 2 corners.
Okay.
They sent everybody.
9 blitzers. Yeah, I mean, you knew it was coming. You just didn't know. And that's the beauty of Spags, the wizardry of that guy. He just knows that one time to dial it up, because that was the only time that we blitzed like that entire game. Have we done that this year?
No, I haven't seen that. And Carr actually threw a dime on that ball and right through that dude's hands. I mean, that would have been a miraculous catch, don't get me wrong, but it could have been a catch. It went through his hands. I mean, he almost burned us on that too. And then he got hurt, which is weird because the announcers were like, oh, he got hit. And then we were watching the replay and we were like, he didn't get hit. You know, and I like Derek Carr. No, I don't want any injuries. But I didn't see, like, he didn't get hit hardly at all. He just got pushed down and he immediately grabbed his side and then he went out. I don't know what happened.
I think maybe whenever he threw that ball, you know, he had everything that he could throw it with, and he was twisting and going down to the ground and probably landed wrong. I mean, all I got to do sometimes is get out of bed and I twist my back. So that happens when you get older, Derek.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, defense was good. And, you know, watching that game, he goes, where's Chris Jones been all game? And I was like, they like to double team him, but he'll show up. And, I mean, it wasn't right after that. Chris Jones busted through a couple of double teams and just like took over. That was midway through the fourth quarter when Chris Jones just decided, I'm taking over this game. And he was going, I shouldn't have spoke up. And I'm like, Jones is a beast. And he waits for his moments. Double team or not, that guy is a beast.
There was a clip that he had 9 pressures on the QB last night, leading everybody this last week. So
And he was double teamed. And
yeah.
he was double teamed all night long.
Yes. He's just so big and so powerful. They may start triple team him, and when they do that, you're going to free up Karlaftis. Who's our buddy, number 90? 90? Yeah, from the defensive line that got hurt in the Ravens game last year. Hasn't even been playing with us. He's on the injury.
I don't know. I can't.
I think it's Charles Minihue.
Yeah.
Wait till he gets back.
Yeah. Charles Minihue. Yeah, that's right. He's out. What happened to him?
He tore something in the Baltimore game last year, and it might have been his ACL. I don't remember. But
I thought he was back. But anyway, well, whatever.
So,
I can't wait till he gets back.
Number 32 led the Chiefs last night. Nick Bolton, 11 tackles. Absolutely blew up Kamara on a screen pass last night.
Yeah.
That made me jump up out of my chair and yell again. So
faked inside, went out. I saw that.
Yeah.
I kept screaming Bolton. I mean, it was just Bolton would make a big play all the time. I mean, he's good. What can we say?
Yeah, you got to love him. So, not a question. Defense has won us some games last night, basically shut down a really good New Orleans Saints team. Whenever you are holding Alvin Kamara to under 30 yards for the entire night, whenever you're holding a receiver like Olave for what, couple catches, 12 yards, phenomenal job.
Nothing.
Let's move on to one fun fact about Arrowhead Stadium. Back in 2014, they played the New England Patriots, and they actually set the Guinness World Record. Do you happen to know what the decimals that they reached were?
Yes, I do. 142.2 decibels. Yeah.
42. I don't know what a jet plane goes off at, but from what I understand, that's louder than a jet plane taking off.
Oh, wow. That's
So,
awesome.
pretty amazing in itself.
Well, we have been to that Arrowhead Stadium, and it does get loud. It's fun.
It's a blast to be up there. It really is. I guess they've added some new lights to the stadium. I saw a little clip last night that they've added in some colors, and it's just there. I haven't been to another professional football team's stadium outside of the Broncos whenever I lived out in Denver for a little while, and that was Mile High's first year. But the Mile High folks back then didn't hold a candle to what you hear at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri.
Yeah, I've been. That's the two places I've been. Broncos Stadium when we played the Chiefs, and Chiefs won then too.
Yep.
And, Arrowhead a couple times now. It'll be, bittersweet to see if Arrowhead goes away. Part of me is, you've heard me complain about the open top stadium. When you've got I don't know. Part of me is like, look, we won the game against the Dolphins because of the cold. We've won some games because of the weather, and Mahomes does well with the weather. So I don't know. I think in today's day and age, though, all fields should, have a. I mean, look at the Steelers Cowboys game. Rained out. This is, it's
2 hours.
not. Yeah, it's not the ground and pound like it was when a lot of these stadiums were built, like the Steelers Stadium and Arrowhead Stadium. It is throw it through the air, passing offense. I mean, we had 60 plays last night. 27 of them run plays. So that's a lot of passing plays.
That is.
I mean, hard to do that when it's raining.
Yeah. I agree.
All right. So player of the game. I'm going to pick one, and then you can pick one. I am torn. So I won't say who I'm torn between because you might pick the other one. So I'm going to say Juju Smith-Schuster has to be player of the game for me. To come back from, went away, came back into this offense, hadn't been playing much, dropped a touchdown pass, could have kind of gave it up then, or didn't. I just fought through everything last night, 130 yards. I don't remember how many receptions. But welcome back, Juju. That's my player of the game.
I like Juju for last night's game too, because we knew that there were shades of him that we've seen before, but last night was a monster game for him. I'm going to go with my my guy from 2018, Kareem Hunt.
That was my secondary pick, so that's why I stopped right there.
Yeah.
That's torn.
Well, you got both of them that did an outstanding job last night, and we had mentioned that earlier in the show here that you've got guys that are able to come back and fill shoes, but you've got Andy Reid, who is probably one of the most successful coaches ever in the NFL, and he just has the ability to get the very best out of people. You see people all the time talking about their relationship with Coach Reid, and I remember back whenever I played football. And by the way, I'm wearing this hat. Shout out to the 1974 state 1A championship team went to the 50th reunion this last weekend, and our coaches were there. And coaches mean a lot. I can still tell you a lot about the coach that I played under back in high school. I didn't go to college ball, wasn't big enough, but I'll never forget him. And what a leader. But he probably pales in comparison to Coach Andy Reid. And here you are again. You're talking about a guy who has the ability to get the very best out of people. So Cream's going to get my game ball last night just because over 100 yards, second time that he's run for us this year. Isaiah better look out, man. He may have to fight for his job. But way to go, Kareem. Awesome job.
Yeah. Yeah. Speaking of Pacheco and some injuries, so I don't know if you saw this, but Rice is out for the season. The scope found that he has damage to his LCL, which is his lateral something ligament, lateral crucial ligament, I believe. But anyway, he's got to have that surgically repaired, so he's out for the season. Unfortunately, we're not going to see that boy for a couple of years. I mean, he's got to serve his. He'll be lucky. I've heard them talk about he's going to try to get his, suspension served this season, but I don't think the NFL is going to be, oh, now you're hurt. Well, we're going to go ahead and suspend you because, man, that would not be a precedent that NFL wants to, set is, well, we'll suspend you when it, comes in handy for everybody. I don't think they'll do that. So Hollywood Brown, of course, is out until late in the season still, and Pacheco is out till late in the season. We will get Pacheco back. We don't know exactly when, but it will be most definitely by playoff time. He can be ready by playoff time, and so can Hollywood Brown. So we could, be in some good shape going into the playoffs. And as we saw from last night's game, we don't look too bad right now as it is.
No, I was going to say, I'll be glad to see Isaiah Pacheco back in uniform. Hollywood Brown, I know that he's an amazing player. Whether or not he's going to be able to make a difference for the Chiefs this year, I don't know. I hate to see Rashid lose the rest of the season. I will say this, he needs to serve out his full suspension regardless of when it is, when it's convenient for him. Hopefully that young man will never, ever do something like he did again. He will learn from that error in judgment. I feel like that he has wised up this last year. And for him to lose the rest of the season with that kind of a play happening, just it hurts. You hurt for the kid. You really do. It's just a shame. I don't know. I mentioned a minute, Hugh. I don't know really anybody else who, at least from last night, wound up on the injury list. Do you?
I mean, I think there's a few people that are on the list, but for, little small stuff that they could come. I mean, McCole Hardman's on there. Nick Bolton was on there. I mean, when isn't McCole Hardman on there, though? I mean, let's throw that out there. McCole played a great game last night, though. When he had the ball, he did pretty good. He caught all his, fair catches. And hey, Sky Moore was in there for what? One play, and what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
He dropped the ball.
Yep.
Sky Moore, once again, step it up.
I don't know what to say about that kid. I really don't. I hope that he has a future with the Chiefs, but he keeps pulling those kind of bone moves. He won't. McCole Hardman last night, I don't know if you remember the play, but he caught the ball and went for a first down, and he was going backwards this way, and Travis shoved him backwards and shoved him over the top of a guy. I watched him do this with a football, stick it out like this, and I'm going, buddy, don't you remember the Super Bowl when you did that and you lost it for us inside the 1 yard line? Don't do that stuff. Only Patrick Mahomes can get away with extending that play as he did last night. Phenomenal play. But come on, use your brain there, Hardman.
Well, thanks, everybody. As always, like and subscribe. we will see you back here next week.
See you later.